Welcome to the week 7 review, week 8 setup call. This week's a little bit different. I'll explain how in just a minute. Let's dive in. You are here for the week 7 review, week 8 setup call for the Artist Way 12-week course. And this week was all about recovering a sense of connection. Everything you need to be successful, you will find in the training area. And you have a WhatsApp group to connect with others who are doing this course with you. Share what you're realizing, what you're celebrating, what you're struggling with, what you're proud of. When you are vulnerable, it builds connections with others. That is no mistake that you are all in here at this time doing this course together. So make the most of the group. This week, you are doing your 3 pages of notes every single day. You were doing the tasks at the end of the chapter, and you were going on your artist date. So the chapter was all about recovering a sense of connection. There were some tasks and activities to help us to explore where we're disconnected and how we can get reconnected. So first of all, she was talking about listening. And she was advising and recommending that we use the morning pages and the artist date as an opportunity to listen and to hear our inner artists. And what you'll find is the more you tune into yourself and that inner voice, the louder it will become. You have been paying attention to the voice that you have always known. So that's why it's loud. And the other voice is quieter. As you quiet down the known voice and you turn up the volume on the unknown voice will start to be able to share your inner artistic wisdom. The chapter also talked about perfectionism and how we can be enrolled in obsessive controlling loops and we can fear making mistakes. So perhaps you resonated with that, perhaps not. She also talked about risk this week and how we can have certain limiting beliefs, and we've talked about this before. What you are unconscious of is controlling you, and you are unconscious of 95 to 98% of what goes on in your life every single day. You are operating in an unconscious state, and most of the things that your body is doing for you are good. You wouldn't want to be thinking about being your lungs to breathe. You wouldn't want to think about making your heart beat to make the blood pump around your body. But there are other things that you are doing automatically that have been set up so that your brain can make the most of the limited amount of energy that it has every single day, because your brain burns glucose. And glucose comes from the food that you eat, which is why sometimes when you're thinking a lot, you crave instant sugar. That is your brain going into a panic mode of, oh, we might run out of food, we might run out of energy, because it doesn't think like a logical human insofar as, well, it's almost dinner time and I know I'm going to eat this. It just thinks in a survival mode. So when it comes to unconscious beliefs and how your brain is running the show, it's very childish in its operating manual. And when we're rewiring and we're discovering the beliefs, they're very childish beliefs that we're uncovering because we have been trapped in the trauma at the age that the thing happened to us. And the trauma can be a big T thing, it can be a small T thing. And we are exposed to narratives throughout our entire life, and our brain makes it mean something. So your brain has made this tied to this to mean this. That's not what other people's brains do. Somebody else's brain makes this tied to this means this. So when you think about the world in general and the arguments and the circular narratives that are going on, nobody is talking about the same thing. The language doesn't mean the same thing to anybody. One word can trigger one person and it can have absolutely no effect on another person, which is where we are all doing the best job that we can. And which is where you are doing the best job that you can. So this week was really around how deep can you go? And the deeper you go, the freer you become. But when you're uncovering it, it's uncomfortable because the realization that certain things have been running the show, driving the car, taking you from A to B can be a bit confronting. I don't believe that. Why is that coming up? Because your brain, through neuroplasticity, has wired in a certain way, but it can be rewired. And it's awareness to the situation that helps you to do that. So that's what this week's chapter was all about. The exercises that she gave us this week were around jealousy. And this is helping us to understand the feelings that come up when we observe things, the emotions that come up when we observe things, the need to control when things happen to us in life. There's a phrase that it's happening for you, not to you, which is fantastic and a great reframe. But when you're in it, you can't reframe it. If you've just been punched in the face, somebody coming up to you and saying, oh, that's a teachable moment, you're going to learn something from that, it hurts. So when you think about life, when you think about the feelings that come up, the emotions that come up, yes, you can learn from them, but in the moment, you have to go through it, you have to feel through it and come out on the other side. And it takes time. And somebody externally watching you, just get over it. But when you're going through it, you can't just get over it. And what you could just get over, they can't just get over. It's different for everybody. So she was asking us this week to do a jealousy map. So did you do the jealousy map exercise? And did you do the archaeology exercise, which was really in and around the artist child? So this was helping you to uncover your child artist, which is where it all started. You were artistic as a child. You were embodying the artistic version of you, but somebody said you didn't have time for it. Somebody said it wasn't acceptable. Somebody said you needed to be more realistic. Somebody said you needed to stop being so childish. And it started to make things mean things, and this tied to this meant this. But it doesn't, because for everybody else, they're not connected. So the more you can identify the misconnections, the more you can then reconnect with the highest truth. It takes time. There is no easy overnight way to this. Where you want to go, you are going to have to go through where you don't necessarily want to go. And I love that we're all here for this course. And I love that we're all here on this journey, because many people will never get to do this in their lifetime. Consciousness and learning how to evolve and grow is actually one of the greatest privileges we could ever have the ability to go on, to the journey to go on. This week, it's going to go a little bit differently because we're not meeting up in person. What you're going to do is answer these 4 questions in the WhatsApp group as a voice note. You are going to press record on your phone and you are going to talk to us. And you are going to re-record it as many times as you want, but just answer these 4 questions. Number 1, what was your biggest realization this week? Number 2, if we're talking about risk, what would you try despite perfectionism? What would you try despite perfectionism? Because we fear that it won't be perfect, so we don't do it. So what would you try despite perfectionism? Number 3, jealousy. What is it teaching you? So what did you discover from doing the exercise on the jealousy map this week? And then number 4, what buried childhood stories did you uncover doing the archaeology exercise this week? So as always, be as vulnerable and as honest as you want. This group here is non-judgmental and confidential, and we are all here to help each other and elevate and learn from each other when each other shares what has gone on. So share your update in the WhatsApp group. Do this on Sunday or Monday so that you can then get on with the next week, and then it is done and it's off your to-do list. Don't overthink this. Imagine that we're having our session. You will get emailed about this first thing on Sunday morning. So you have all day and all evening to get on with it and do it. Just do it. Your life will change by the actions you take, not by the thoughts you overthink. Here's a great quote from this week's chapter. Usually when we say we don't do something, What we mean is we won't do something unless we can guarantee that we'll do it perfectly. This week is all about recovering a sense of strength. You will be reading week 8, pages 129 to 149, completing the morning pages, so 3 sides of notes every day. Going on your artist day, you will be considering and completing the tasks at the end of the chapter, doing the tasks that you are most resistant to, and then doing any of the other tasks that you have enough time for. You'll be reviewing your week on Saturday, and we'll be meeting again in 7 days on Sunday, the 12th of April, live and online, to talk about what has gone on for you in week 8. And obviously, as always, you can watch it on demand if you can't join us live. Don't forget to use the WhatsApp group to keep connected and accountable. Trust the process, have fun, and remember that progress beats perfect. And as always, if you want to book a one-to-one call with me to review whatever is coming up, that is available to you. And the links for that are in the online training area. And that's a wrap on week 7. I cannot wait to see you again live and online next week when we'll be talking about what's happened for you in week 8. And I can't wait to hear what's happened for you in week 7, your answers to those questions in the WhatsApp group on Sunday, Monday. See you soon. Any questions, email orders@successbyDesigntraining.com.